Okay, so for part 2, what we're going to do is we're going to import a pattern file, a .pat file. And so for us here at DAS, you can find our kind of library of custom patterns that we have here that we've sort of gathered from years in AutoCAD in projects, DAS General, Support, and then custom pats. And there's also, I believe, archive pats, which, you know, in general, you're gonna, who knows what you're gonna get in here, and I'll kind of show you why these are somewhat problematic to deal with. But what we're gonna do is, the first thing we have to do is create a fill pattern from one of these PAT files. So in order to do that, we have to go to the Manage tab, hit this pull down next to Additional Settings, and hit Fill Patterns. So again, the first step is to create a fill pattern. The second step is to create a filled region. So what we want to do is we want to make a new fill pattern, and we're going to just make a drafting pattern. We could do a model pattern too if we wanted, but let's stick with the drafting pattern for now. Hit new fill pattern. Instead of basic, I'm going to tell it to be custom, which means it's going to be looking for a PAT file. I'm going to hit browse. I had already grabbed this Flemish brick pattern from our library and threw it here for easy access. Let's open that up. Now, you can see here the preview is blank, right? And so the problem we're going to run into with a lot of these kind of random pattern files is that who knows what scale they were drawn at. They could be kind of anything. So unfortunately, it's kind of trial and error to get this to sort of look right. So let's go up to like 100. Okay, so it has this X across it, which means that we're so zoomed out we can't even see the start of the pattern. So that means we have to go the other way. Let's do like 0.01. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we're starting to get closer. We're probably repeating it too much already, so let's try and do 0.1. It's looking okay. 0.05. Sure, that's looking pretty close to what we want. So you can see there's kind of a process of sort of trial and error to get this pattern to look the way you want it to. So that looks pretty good, so let's say okay. And you can see here it just added it as a drafting pattern. So in order to actually make that pattern as a filled region, we have to do one more step. So what we have to do here is we have to do, go to annotate, filled region. We can just do edit type. We can grab any of these, it doesn't really matter what one, hit duplicate, and we'll call it like Flemish brick. Okay, hit this little pull down here. I'm gonna hit F. Oh, sorry, I guess I can't search inside of here. Where did we put that one? Oh, there it is. Sorry, brick Flemish, not Flemish brick. So either way, let's open that up. Let's say okay. Let's just make a big rectangle and see what we get. Finish that up. Look at that, it's so tiny. Now I think that's because we're at 6 inch equals a foot. If we go to like, I don't know, something more realistic, like maybe 1/8 inch, zoom out, it's looking okay. But again, unfortunately, when bringing stuff from a kind of raw pattern file that you really don't even understand the scale of, it's going to be a lot of trial and error, which I know is going to be really frustrating, but it kind of is what it is. So what you end up having to do is you go in here, you go into edit type, we grab this guy, we grab this Flemish thing, and we say, okay, well, it was already at 0.05, maybe we want it to be at like 0.02, right? So okay, apply, and you can see it's going to change that scale. So it's definitely not an exact science. You kind of have to do the best you can, but you know, that's starting to sort of tell the story. So we can kind of do that with any of the pattern files we have. Another thing we can do is apply fill patterns to materials. So let's say we have a floor. I'm going to go in here and make an architectural floor. I'm just going to draw a rectangle. That's fine. Let's take this floor and let's edit the type of it. We're going to go into the structure here. And you can see the structure of this floor is default floor. Let's insert another layer and we'll put it up here. we'll switch the material. Give it a second. Pull the browser over here to something random. Doesn't really matter. Sure, cherry. And so what we're really worried about is this surface pattern right here. Come here. There you are. So you see here it says pattern none. You can see we can grab this, say OK, apply that, hit OK, get all the way out of here. Oh, sorry, got to give it a thickness. Give it ½ inch thick. Okay, and apply, and let's see if that worked. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so that's it shaded. Let's go back to hidden line. Let's check our view range. Let's just make sure we can actually see this thing. Oh, looks okay. Let me try it again. Maybe I missed something along the way. So here we got cherry. It's got a foreground, surface pattern on foreground. Let's just add this to the Let's try taking a look. There we go. So it's looking all right in here. I think we have some kind of view template on in the plan view that wasn't allowing us to see it, so we could kind of clean that up. But either way, you're kind of getting a feel for what you can see in here. Looks like the pattern's kind of twisted a little bit, and we can start to kind of modify those things. Actually, I think it's just squaring itself up to the view. So that kind of gives you a feel for how you'd kind of go about that. Now keep in mind that this is a drafting pattern, not a model pattern. So as I change the scale of this view, this pattern is going to change size. If I want to draw this or have, this brick right here always be, 6 inches by 8 inches or whatever it is, I have to make it as a model pattern and apply it as a model pattern. So that's very important so you don't kind of mess those things up.